On an empty stretch of Route 66, in the middle of the Arizona desert, drivers began noticing something unusual. Every single day, a lonely German shepherd sat beside an old, abandoned gas station, watching every truck that passed by. Nobody knew where he came from, nobody knew why he stayed there, but one thing was clear: this dog was waiting for someone who hadn't arrived yet. The summer heat in Arizona was brutal, but the dog didn't care. Cars rushed past the highway at full speed, leaving behind nothing but dust. Yet every morning, at the exact same spot, the dog appeared. Workers from the nearby diner started calling him Ghost. He was like a shadow from the past. No matter how many times kind people tried to lure him away to safety, he always returned to the roadside. Truck drivers began leaving him food, and tourists took pictures from a distance. But at night, when the highway became silent, Ghost would stare into the darkness, waiting for a pair of headlights that never came. One evening, an old mechanic named Walter walked slowly toward the dog. Walter had worked along Route 66 for over 40 years. When he looked at Ghost, his face turned pale. He recognized him. 3 years earlier, a truck driver named Daniel used to stop at this very gas station every week, and beside him was always the same German shepherd. Daniel had rescued him as a puppy during a snowstorm. They were inseparable. People called them the Highway Brothers. But one stormy night, Daniel's truck never arrived. A terrible accident had happened several miles away. Daniel was gone instantly, and somehow, against all odds, his loyal companion survived. After the accident, Ghost returned to the only place he knew, the last place he saw his friend. Every truck sound made his ears rise. Every pair of headlights gave him a flickering moment of hope. But the engine sound was never the right one. Weeks became months. Months became years. Ghost refused to leave his post. His loyalty was his only world. Soon, the entire town knew about the loyal dog of Route 66. Truckers from different states began stopping just to check on him. They brought blankets for the cold desert nights and toys he barely touched. One little girl placed a small hand-painted sign beside the road that read, "Waiting is another form of love." Millions of people online were touched by his story, but Ghost remained oblivious to the fame. He was still just a dog, waiting for his master. One cold winter morning, a retired army veteran named Michael arrived at the gas station. Michael lived a quiet, lonely life after returning from war. When he looked into Ghost's eyes, he saw a reflection of his own soul and an unbreakable loyalty. Michael didn't try to catch him. He simply sat on the dusty ground, several feet away, and stayed there for hours without saying a word. For the first time in 3 long years, Ghost didn't look at the highway. He slowly turned his head, walked over, and rested his tired face on Michael's shoulder. Day after day, Michael returned. He never forced the dog. He just offered his presence. Until one evening, as the sun began to set behind the Crimson Mountains, Ghost quietly stood up by Cassettes. He took one last look at the highway, then turned around and followed Michael to his truck. He finally understood that the person he was waiting for was never coming back. But life was giving him a second chance to be loved. Today, Ghost no longer waits alone beside Route 66. He spends his days on a small wooden porch, watching the sunset beside Michael. The scars of the past are still there, but he is finally home. His story reminds us all of a simple truth: dogs never forget the people they love. Their loyalty is stronger than time. If this story touched your heart, please help us share more incredible tales of resilience and love. Subscribe to Paws of America and click the notification bell so you never miss a moment. Every animal has a voice, and with your support, we can make them heard. Tell us in the comments, what's the most loyal thing a pet has ever done for you? Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next heartwarming story. Some souls wait forever because love never leaves.